guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on what I think about the Arturia MiniLab MK3. I got this keyboard probably like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Mind you guys, this video is not sponsored, so I bought this keyboard with my own money from Guitar Center.
I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money. Boo.
So what do I think about this keyboard in general? I feel like it's a great keyboard. If it's your first keyboard to buy, it's a very good keyboard to get. The only cons, or the major cons I have about it, is the small size. If you have big fingers like me, a keyboard this small, might not be as comfortable to play with as a keyboard that's, I don't know if you can see my keyboard at the back. The keyboard that's this big. That's my only major con with it. Then the pros, basically, I made a list here, so I don't talk too much in the video. The pads feel very nice to play with. It has very, very nice pads. No double trigger like this. My Akai pad. My Akai pad is an Akai MPD 226. Yes, they feel great, they're bigger than the pads on here, but these pads have double trigger. If you don't know what double trigger is when you play on the pad once and it plays like 2 times. That's double trigger. Maybe you hit it once and it's playing double notes. That's double trigger. So there's no double trigger on this pad at all, so it's very, very nice. What else I got on my list? The keyboard feels very, very good to play on. You enjoy playing this keyboard. Before I got this keyboard, I was thinking of getting the Akai keyboard. I'll put the name here, I forget the name, but I was trying to get this one or the Akai. But I didn't want to get the Akai because, I felt like this might be a better buy with the quality. It was around the same price range. It's very portable, as you can see, 25 keys. You can easily put it in your backpack. Take it with you when you're traveling. It comes with free sounds and free plugins. And it's small. It has a flat bed. I think they call it touch. A touch bed. I don't know what exactly it's called, but it doesn't have the knob or the wheel. It just has like a flat bed that you can scroll on. It has USB Type-C, which is very, very good now because everything is changing to USB Type-C. It has MIDI in, MIDI out, and it also has a control pedal that you can use. It has some faders and some knobs that you can set to whatever plugin or your DAW. You can assign a knob to it and tweak it as you like. Like I said, the only cons I have about this is one, is very small, and two, I actually have 3 cons about this keyboard. One is small. If you have big fingers like I do, you might not enjoy playing it. Other con is you might need to configure this keyboard. Yes, you can plug it in and play it, but sometimes you might have some issues with configuring it to work with your DAW. So you might have to download some scripts from their website, and you have to download the app to configure all these pads. It's kind of a con and a pro in a way because you can't necessarily tweak all these pads to your liking in here. You have to use an app, which is another step. I have a keyboard. This is my keyboard right here. I can configure this keyboard from scratch with everything on the keyboard. I don't have to connect to any app. But then there's some extra features that the app just makes it easy. So that's the con and pro in a way. So I don't know if I should count that as a point, but just know that you can't easily configure this with the keyboard. You have to go through an app to configure it. And the last con I have is this shift. It has some MIDI controls. It has play, pause, record. Sometimes it doesn't really work. So I said you have to get some scripts to make it work with your DAW. Some DAWs don't recognize this CC control, so you have to get that script that makes it work. And every time you want to play, you have to press shift and play or shift and record. So sometimes it's a hassle come to always press shift and record, shift and play. You know, I feel like they could have maybe added a little bit more buttons somewhere for the shift, play, pause and record. You know, and sometimes when you want to record something and you press shift and you press record, and then you press shift and you press play again, you have to get ready again to start recording on your keyboard. You can get used to it. It's not really a big deal, but sometimes it's just annoying. So I still end up clicking record on my keyboard, on my computer, mouse and keyboard, and coming back here to play. So that's the only con I can say about it. One more con about it is in FL Studio, right? This pitch wheel, I don't know if it's a script that is bad or something, but when you move this pitch wheel, if you set your pitch to 12 and you move this pitch wheel, it only moves like 200 cents instead of 1200 cents or 1200 cents. So sometimes it's kind of annoying. I try to mess around with the scripts and the settings I used in FL Studio, but and I think one was working, but I don't know, I felt like it was a bit junky. So I don't know if it's an FL Studio problem or if it's an Arturia problem. I feel more it's an Arturia problem because with all my other keyboards, it doesn't have that issue. And that's annoying because I use that feature when I'm trying to do if I'm playing a guitar and I want to get that bend. I use that pitch feature a lot. So that's the only thing I can say bad about this keyboard. Aside from that, I feel like it's a very great keyboard. If you have a minimalistic setup, great keyboard for having that minimalistic setup. And I've never really gotten an Arturia keyboard before, an Arturia product. Size wise, I think is pretty small, but it's as big as a laptop. I have a MacBook 16-inch MacBook, and it's almost as big as my MacBook 16-inch. Just for reference, just look at how big and small it is. It's almost the same size as my MacBook, funny enough. And it feels a little bit heavy, but you can always put it in your backpack if you're traveling. Overall, I think it's a very great keyboard. First time keyboard, yes, you can buy it. But if it's not your first time, or if you have big fingers, like I said, I wouldn't recommend this keyboard. You might not enjoy it as much. But if you also don't mind a small keyboard and you want to be in a small place, or you don't have a lot of space to have a big keyboard, yeah, go ahead. It's a very great keyboard. I would definitely recommend this. 10 out of 10.